Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to give you a reminder on Digital Perspectives X channel, on his X profile. He and I are going to be doing our second X Spaces live. We're going to do it today. It's every Tuesday at 12 o'clock Eastern time, and we're just going to talk about whatever we want to talk about. We titled it XRP Crypto Trump. But whatever it is that's the most interesting thing today is what we'll talk about. So I wanted to remind everyone of that. Now, this is Ryan Selkis at Consensus.
We can talk about nonpartisanship. We can talk about bipartisanship. We can talk about crossing the aisle after there has been a certain period of penance from the Democrats. And right now, I think on the House side, there's going to be good crypto Dems, there's going to be good crypto Republicans, and everywhere in between. And I think we want to continue to invest in those relationships and continue to engage with folks on the House side. We can talk about nonpartisanship.
Now, this was a video that I saw that was liked by Brad Garlinghouse, and I wanted to show it to you. And they're basically here talking about how these are the mega liberal people, and they're talking about how Silicon Valley's always been Democratic, basically the Democrats own Silicon Valley, and they're talking about how they're abandoning them. I've never seen people literally flip the bird to their voters the way that these people are doing right now.
Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California, whose district represents parts of Silicon Valley. He's also a member of the House Oversight Committee, and this weekend hosted a two-day gathering of tech leaders.
I may vomit listening to these people. I don't ever watch this stupid propaganda channel, but
many of whom have been skeptical recently about the Democratic Party and want to know what President Biden's plans for AI are.
And Congressman, it's not just AI. I mean, we've all noted this rightward tilt.
One of the most disgusting human beings in all of media and politics to me is this guy right here, Joe Scarborough. This guy used to be a common sense thinking conservative type guy. He became a freaking disgusting propagandist for all these evil people that are running this country right now. Years back, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if they blackmailed him. I have no idea, but they did something.
Rightward shift of a lot of tech leaders in Silicon Valley, and those writing about it, talking about this sort of libertarian bro culture among some Silicon Valley elites. Talk about that and how we moved from a Silicon Valley that seemed to be left of center to one that now is moving right of center.
Well, Joe, you're absolutely right that some of the loudest voices have been right of center. I would say the Democrats had 90% of Silicon Valley. Now we probably have 60 to 70%. This conference, which I convened, we had Speaker Pelosi, Ron Klain, and made two central points. One, President Biden, with the Chips and Science Act, has had the largest investment in science and technology since the Kennedy years. And we're bringing manufacturing for semiconductors and advanced manufacturing back. We also have had the largest investment in clean tech, which a lot of Silicon Valley founders and venture capitalists have funded. The challenge you speak to, though, one, there's a concern, candidly, that the administration has been too negative on blockchain.
You think?
Speaker Pelosi and I supported Patrick McHenry's recent bill to provide regulatory clarity. I think it would be helpful if the White House gets behind that. Second, there has been a sense, which I think has gone too far, that, well, there's too much political correctness in the Democratic Party.
These people, I have never, ever in my entire life seen politicians flip the bird off to their constituents when they obviously know what they want. I mean, I'm a single issue voter this time, period. And crypto is going to it's going to destroy these people if they don't freaking get it before it's too late. Now, I don't think I've shown this yet, and I don't remember. Anyway, this is PolySign CEO Jack McDonald. In all full disclosure, I am a PolySign shareholder, and they're not now. You can't get it right now on Link2's platform. But I am a PolySign shareholder. Full disclosure. Watch this. This is an interesting clip because there's a lot going on between Ripple, PolySign. It's going to be interesting to watch it unfold.
We started PolySign, the parent company for Standard Custody and Trust, which is a New York qualified custodian. We're days away, hopefully, from closing our transaction and selling Standard Custody and Trust to Ripple, upon which I'll be joining Ripple. I'm quite excited about that.
Can you talk a little bit about...
Well, that's news. So Ripple is acquiring some part of PolySign, or acquiring, my understanding, Standard Custody, and that they're apparently, according to what he says here, that's going to close soon. Let's see.
The strategic importance of that for Ripple. Why was Ripple interested in buying Standard Custody?
Ripple's really evolved from what 10 or 11 years ago was a cross-border payments company to today really more broad-based in terms of tokenization, payments, custody, and in the not-too-distant future will be stablecoin. And I think in the end have focused on a mission to provide enterprise-based solutions for those institutions who want to tokenize, store, move, and exchange value on blockchains around the world. And so specifically getting a trust company is a very strategic fit for them to do that. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, announced a number of weeks ago at Paris Blockchain about the intention to launch a stablecoin. I think when you consider Ripple's global payments network, there's a broad global base of financial institutions who increasingly have been using stablecoins as a means of payment and a settlement token for that payment. I think Ripple wants to natively be a part of that.
Huge news.
Yeah, big.
Ripple
exciting.
Launching a stablecoin that competes with USDC, Tether, PYUSD.
And I think Ripple rightly views the ecosystem as a rising tide, lifting all ships, and so you don't want to fight that. There's plenty of room for more high quality, liquid stable coins out there. So this is not a winner take all sort of journey that Ripple's looking to go on. Quite the opposite. I think they're looking to work with the Circles of the world and other issuers to benefit the industries.
Very interesting. This is going to be interesting. Exciting times. All right. Empower Oversight. Today, Empower submitted a new Freedom of Information Act request to the SEC to determine whether former Chairman Jay Clayton avoided using his SEC email in order to circumvent public records laws as he took actions benefiting digital assets, Bitcoin, and Ether. Now, this is interesting, folks, because you can smell it. These people, there's blood in the water here. You can smell it, folks. Empower is getting, here's how you can tell. Empower is getting very specific on what they're asking the records request here. And look at all of the names. First, let's look at some of the keywords they're asking them to search. But first, let's look at this. They're wanting calendar entries, invites, responses, notes, emails, email attachments between Jay Clayton's immediate staff members, including all of these people. And it ends here and it says, and any other employees responsible for providing Clayton advice, employees assisting Clayton in his communications or scheduling. Keywords: Sullivan Cromwell, S&C, Sullivan, Electric Capital, Ether, Ethereum, EEA, Ether Speech, Consensus. Look, they even, consensus? Okay, yeah, they even capitalize. I mean, this is how bad the lying is that's coming out of the SEC. Look what they had to do here. This right here can only mean, they put those two terms separately. This can only mean right here that when they're turning in these Freedom of Information Act requests to the SEC, that the SEC is saying, oh, well, they asked for us to search consensus. They did not ask for us to search consensus with a capital S before the Y and the S. This is how corrupt our government has gotten, folks. These people are sick, okay? There's a reason they're having to get this specific. Then they asked for One River, WMB, Apollo, Lubin, Brooklyn Project, Union Square Ventures, NVCA, or Public Citizen. And they want all records communications, same type stuff with all of these people. Look at all of these names, folks. These are names that are not coming out of nowhere. It makes me wonder what they know. Even Harold Ford Jr., who I think was a congressman. Then they've got communications including all of this between Jay Clayton and immediate staff members, including and all of these people. Then they do all the email addresses like at ethereumalliance.org, at ETHGATE, at One River, at Solcrom. Man, you can see what's happening here. These guys aren't just filing this for no reason. And then Tristan Levitt, who is he's president of Empower. I met him when I went to DC. So many no relevant records responses from the SEC. Looks awfully fishy. We've requested relevant records from all of his staff. If Clayton tried to use some other means for his crypto communications, we intend to find them. I would ask them to include Gmail first, but I would tell them this. You remember when J.W. Verrett, he was an advisor at the SEC, okay, under Gary Gensler. But this didn't come out of nowhere. And if he's saying this means you need to look in WhatsApp, you need to look in Gmail, everywhere. Listen to what he said. This was back a few months back.
Yeah, and there's a few things they can do. One is oversight subpoenas of emails and such. Unfortunately, what we've heard is that there are staff at the SEC that are using apps like Signal and WhatsApp, like we do, to try to keep our communications private. They're doing the same thing to keep them private from congressional oversight. Now, if they're doing that from a just government ethics and oversight perspective, it's illegal. So hopefully, in that context, and I feel a lot more comfortable with you and me using Signal and WhatsApp to maintain our privacy than I do someone in a government position who should be accountable to the public. But we might see that issue come up in oversight.
All right, and then if you notice here at the beginning, this is when SEC did a WhatsApp probe and expanded it to phones of hedge fund employees. So in other words, they're going after people for this. But what he's saying is that he's heard that people at the SEC are using WhatsApp. See how corrupt all this is, folks? And I thought it was important to ask Tristan Levitt, hey, Tristan, just out of curiosity, would you guys be able to get to the bottom of this faster for the American people if the financial news media like Squawk Box, Andrew Ross Sorkin, Becky Quick, Joe Squawk, Fox Business, Think Charles Gasparino, CNN Business stopped covering for Jay Clayton and instead put a microphone in his freaking face and started asking him actual tough questions the way journalists are supposed to and used to do? Folks, make no mistake, these people have been covering for Jay Clayton, and Charles Gasparino is one of the worst offenders. They've been covering for this guy's butt, and now you're seeing right in front of your eyes. They've been making fun of us about ETHGATE. Oh yeah, ETHGATE, whatever, that's not real. Yeah, that's a grand conspiracy, right? Looks like it's not. All right. I'm going to go into DAIXRP.com and we're going to talk about a word you're not allowed to talk about out here on YouTube. You'll get censored. You'll get censored for a lot of stuff, but this is one thing you can't talk about in there. And I'm going to talk about it in there, and it's important for every single person listening to my voice to hear this because it's for your own protection. And so I'm going to go there. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family you need to hear what I'm about to tell you. It's 2 words. I'm not going to say them here. Here we go.